Hey everyone, thank you for clicking on the video. Today we're gonna watch The Rings of Power Season 1 pitch meeting. I think it came, 2 to 3 years ago. And fun fact about me, I used to think that Gandalf and Dumbledore are the same person. I used to think that before joining at Hogwarts, Ga- Dumbledore used to help people to complete their quest because they have same characteristic. Both are magicians, both wear robes, both looks older than their age, and both has a wooden stick for a wand, a wooden stick for using magic spells, and both has a bird as well for their protection. And the Dumbledore has phoenix bird, and in I think the Lord of the Ring, the first one or the second one where Gandalf rides on the eagle, I guess that's right. And that's about me. Let me know your thoughts. Which season which you like, the season one or season two? For me, this season has like Amazon has spent too much money into the Rings of Power, and it shows in their budgets. Like the animation were up to the mark, and everything is up to the mark. For for me, the story wasn't quite believable, and literally when Galadriel jumps from the ship into the ocean or sea, like I'm not sure whether Middle Earth has sea or ocean, and she tries to swim across the ocean, and the literally first guy she met is Sauron. Well, that doesn't make sense to me, and I'm the guy who used to think that Dumbledore and Gandalf are the same person. And because that the main character in the Lord of the Ring, Sam, looks little bit like Harry Potter. Like back in the day, I used to think at least that. And let's see what Ryan has to say about it. Amazon just created this entire content, Powers of the Ring, and spent $1 billion to create this show. I think that's just a conspiracy theory that they just wanted to see the pitch meeting about it. And let's see what Ryan has to say about it. And without a further ado, let's start.
So, you have a new show for me?
Yes, sir, I do. I was thinking we make a Lord of the Rings show.
That's a recognizable name.
It sure is, sir. So all we have to do is spend a bunch of money on the rights, and it's a guaranteed hit.
And also make a good show that people will like, presumably.
I mean, yeah, no.
So spend bunch of money and people will like it. Well, I see no uh, gaps in their logic.
Yeah, no, we'll see how it goes.
Amazing. So, what happens in this thing?
Well, it's gonna take place like thousands of years before the Lord of the Rings trilogy, right? And we're gonna follow Galadriel.
Is that how people are going to pronounce things all the time?
Galadriel.
Numenor.
It's pretty distracting.
Morgoth. Sauron.
Oh, please stop. Please stop that.
Sorry. So anyway, Galadriel's brother was killed by Sauron.
Back in the day, people used to talk like that. Rock, stone.
Back in the day, so she's been trying to hunt him down.
Okay.
And nobody really believes her, but she's still like pushing on the search through the snow, risking people's.
She spent in I think 100 years find Sauron, and literally she never thought of going for the swim.
Lives, being real mean to everyone, and they're gonna get attacked by an ice troll.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this thing's super strong. It's taken out elves, but then Galadriel is so strong, she takes this thing out with no problem at all.
Oh.
Yeah, she's so good, it's not even a danger for her. She was never in danger at all. That's kind of. So the main character's never in any danger? Never, because she's so good.
Not super exciting, actually.
Not a danger on her horizon. Nothing's a threat for her.
All right.
Anyway, so the other elves are like, okay, we'll stop putting us in danger, and they put her on a ship to Valinor.
Stop.
And so they're basically sending her there to get rid of her.
Oh, so what does she do?
Well, just as they're getting there, she decides to jump off the ship into the water.
Is she planning to swim back to Middle Earth?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Oh my god, you're serious.
She's Galadriel.
The producer literally can't believe that he's serious about that plan. Well, that's how I felt. Let me know your thought. How did you feel? Like whether it is written in the book? I didn't know. I have done no research whatsoever. I haven't read the books because there are so many words, and the book I saw it's this big, and that's not how I read the books. However, I did watch the YouTube video explaining how this came to be, and let me tell you that story of like what J.R. Tolkien has imagined is really great. The Rune King God, they created seven the disciples like celestial, you can call them, and one of them is Morgoth. I thought Sauron was the big bad guy, but turned out to be Morgoth is the baddest of them all, and then they kill, I think not kill or exile Morgoth, and then afterwards Sauron is his like trusted like his disciple, you can say. And those story and those mythologies are like they blew my mind, and it's quite intriguing. So if you haven't watched the any YouTube summary about explaining how Sauron came to be, uh, you should watch the YouTube video. I am not sure which one, but I think you can get it anywhere in YouTube.
Galadriel, she can do anything.
Right, okay.
And then as she's swimming back, she's gonna come across some shipwrecked people, including this one guy, Halbrand.
And what's his deal?
Oh, well, he and Galadriel are gonna kind of team up throughout the season, but then at the end of the season, there's gonna be this big reveal that he's actually Sauron. So while swimming across an ocean, Galadriel just happened to run into the evil being she's been looking
Just
for.
happen. Don't tell me that's
Yes,
in the
that
book.
works.
Oh, thank God. So eventually they end up at this place called Numenor.
And what happens there?
Well, she tries to convince the Queen Regent to give her a ship to go back to Middle Earth.
Oh, she's got to do some diplomatic relations, huh? How does she handle that?
With massive disrespect.
Yep.
Oh. You'll see, sir, this isn't the Galadriel we know from the Lord of the Rings movie. She's still young and immature.
Right, okay.
She's only a couple thousand years old at this point. Anyway, also during this season, we're gonna follow these little creatures called the Harfoot, and they're gonna
She's very young, just couple thousand years young.
find this really tall magical man who fell from the sky.
A tall, magical man, huh?
And he's got a beard and long hair and a long robe.
So he's Gandalf?
He's Dumbledore.
No?
That's definitely Gandalf, though, right?
Okay, well, sir, it's gonna be kind of a big reveal later.
Obviously, being Gandalf is tight.
It's gonna be a big mystery, sir.
No, it's not.
Okay, so anyway, the Harfoots that are taking care of this tall magic man, they're very loving and wholesome.
Oh, that's nice.
Unless you become a minor inconvenience to them, in which case they will leave you to die.
Oh, my God.
Oh, and also at the beginning of the season, these orcs are gonna be digging tunnels.
Like for fun?
No, they're up to something.
Oh.
And they're gonna end up attacking this freaking village in the Southlands.
Are the villagers gonna fight?
A lot of them are, yeah, because 2 or 3 times per episode, somebody stands up and gives an inspirational speech.
Kind of a lot of speeches.
It is a lot of speeches. But what, are we supposed to just stand around and not listen to a bunch of speeches? No! Today is when we take our stand.
What are you even talking about?
I don't even know.
I see what he did there. The speech. Today, that's tough. We want more pitch meeting per episode. That's what we want. Hit like if you like that idea.
In so many of those, my brain is basically mush at this point. Anyway, this village is gonna get massacred by orcs.
Jeez.
Yeah, but luckily Galadriel spent 3 episodes begging the queen for an army, so they sweep in and save the day.
How'd they know where and when to show up?
Hey, shut up. So then Galadriel is gonna present that Halbrand guy to the villagers and be like, by the way, this is the king of the Southland. So they're all like, oh my God, we have a king? That's great.
They're all just super happy. They don't have any questions about that.
That's right.
Why did she say this guy's king anyway?
Because he had this little royal emblem thing on him, but he says he got it off a dead guy.
That's pretty suspicious.
No, it's not. So everyone's on board with him being king.
All right.
Anyway, then this bad villager dude is gonna shove this magic.
Fun fact, I think Sauron cannot lie. He can. He was explaining where did he got it from, and that's how it was.
Sword into a giant Rube Goldberg machine that breaks a dam that fills up the orc tunnels with water, which makes a big volcano go off.
What?
Yeah, that just happened.
Why is that a thing?
And then freaking volcanic ash just swoops down and covers up the village, and Galadriel just stands there.
Man, it's gonna be tough.
This scene was pretty awesome shoot. It was on point, the animation and everything. Sorry to interrupt, but that scene was like that scene kept me going through the next few
For
episodes.
people to survive that, actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Oh, really? Yeah, all the important characters just kind of survive. They do get covered in ash, let me tell you. But very dirty people. A lot of cleanup they gotta do.
Pyroclastic flow's almost 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Right, yeah, no, right, that's pretty hot. I should mention that queen lady does go blind.
Oh, I guess her eyes were open?
I guess so. So she's like, I don't want people to know that I'm blind. So she puts a big red cloth over her eyes.
Smooth move, yeah, that'll do it.
Anyway, so then it turns out that that was the birth of Mordor.
Oh, how are we going to show that?
The on-screen title is going to change to Mordor.
That works.
Oh, and another thing
that
that's
works.
going on throughout the season is
That
that
literally
Elrond,
works.
he's from the Matrix movies. That's kind of correct, sir. Anyway, he's trying to get some
Kind of
info
correct.
out of his dwarf friend, this guy Prince Durin.
And what's he trying to get?
Well, he's trying to find out
He's from Game of Thrones 2. He's the young Ned Stark, if you missed that.
what the dwarves are mining, and it turns out it's this stuff called mithril.
Okay.
But Durin makes Elrond take an oath that he's not going to tell anyone about this.
Oh, sounds pretty serious.
Yeah, very serious. But then Elrond's boss is going to be like, hey, are they mining that stuff? And he's going to be like, I can't tell you, I took an oath. I mean, that pretty much confirms it, doesn't it? Oh, 100%. Yeah, it does. Anyway, the elves need this stuff or they're going to die.
Why?
Because they'll die if they don't get it.
Oh, all right.
So then they get a little piece of it and they want to make it into some rings.
Oh boy, very important little circles.
And Halbrand's going to suggest to Celebrimbor, one of the best craftsmen in the world, that he could combine some metals together to make the stuff stronger.
He's the best in the world and he hadn't thought of that? That's what we're going with. Well, okay then.
So then they make the Rings of Power.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. Wow.
And then Galadriel's gonna figure out that that guy is Sauron and confront him.
Oh, so he kills her?
He kind of yells and takes off to Mordor, actually.
Why?
For
That
season
scene was
2, I
amazing.
guess. I don't know.
Got it.
Oh, and those little Harfoots are finally gonna get confirmation that the tall stranger is good.
How do they find that out?
He's gonna be like, I am good.
That'll do it.
And so, yeah, that's about it. What do you think?
Well,
Well, I
That'll do
have
it.
to say, it's a very recognizable brand name.
Sure is, sir.
So let's just make sure we make it in a way everybody's gonna love.
Absolutely, sir.
Or we just throw a bunch of money at it and hope it works out.
Oh, that sounds easier. Let's do that.
That sounds easier. The real conversation, how it went, that's what I think is Amazon went, well, here is a bunch of money. Create as much plot hole as you can. And the scriptwriter is like, why? Because we want the pitch meeting. Yes, there is no other way. There are lots of plot hole. Like, I'm still not over that. She literally swim across the ocean, and the first person she met is Sauron. Who knew? However, the pitch meeting was amazing. This is, I think, after a while, he find lots of plot hole in this series because they were intentional, and I'm not sure about the book whether they had this many plot holes. And in season 2, they changed the Adar guy, the Orc's father, the Uruk's father. And by the way, they did spend a lot of money, and the animation was really on point. If you haven't watched that synopsis about how Sauron became like the Sauron, how all Celestial and how they came to be, like how Gandalf and all, those are like that story is much more interesting than this season. However, the creation of Mordor, like how the volcano has exploded, that scene was amazing. There are a couple of good points about the series. It's not bad at all, but it caught up because lots of people are fan of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and they didn't like the like how they are ruining their memories, like childhood memories, and that's why lots of people hate on this series. But they did show like what can they do, like whatever they're gonna do, people gonna hate it because it's their near and dear parts, and they didn't want anything that ruin their childhood memories. So even if they have made it great, I don't think people would like it. But the show was above average. It's not worse at all. It was engaging. Couple of episode in between, just those are just filler episode, but there are episodes which are literally quite good. And let me know your thoughts on this series. And the pitch meeting was amazing. It's hilarious. It's funny. If you enjoy the reaction, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.